This is the MeTV network, seen locally on KOCO's MeTV Oklahoma City. MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KOCO 5 News at 9 on MeTV.
Yet again, wild winter weather moving into Oklahoma, and snow already spotted across the state earlier today. Some of us just saw rain, but you see 3 pieces of video here. Yeah, a lot of snow already falling. That was just the start. We are now looking ahead to a possibly icy New Year's Eve and a quickly changing forecast. Thanks for joining us here at 9 o'clock on MeTV. I'm Abigail Ogle. Meteorologist Michael Armstrong joining us now. Michael, a mixed bag of winter weather headed our way. What's the latest?
Okay, well, we're going to break all this down. It's pretty amazing when you think back to October. We had our ice storm, knocked out the power to what, 400,000 customers almost. Then we have had 2 big snowstorms since then. We're going to tack on another one. Here's what we're looking at. Winter storm watch in effect for northern, northwestern, western Oklahoma, central Oklahoma right now under a travel advisory. Any part of this could get upgraded as we go into tomorrow night as more data pours in here and we're able to analyze that. There could be some areas pick up some very significant snow amounts, but also quite a bit of freezing rain and sleet mixing in as well. Here's 3 p.m. tomorrow. So the timeline is the first half of the day, we're golden. We're solid tomorrow, okay? We get into 8, 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow going into, yes, 2021 right there at midnight. All of that rain, again, starting to change over to that mix, and some of that rain is going to be heavy. So you put a lot of liquid equivalent with cold temperatures, and you can yield some high snowfall totals, you can get a lot of sleet, and you can get some freezing rain. Right now, I've still got the snow totals pegged across northwestern Oklahoma. Some areas could pick up more than a half a foot. We're going to break it all down, and when the roads could get bad, that's all coming up.
All right, Michael, we'll see you then. Thank you. Tonight at 9 o'clock, really just a devastating day in our state's battle against the coronavirus. 48 more Oklahomans have died from COVID-19. Our state's death toll now 2,453. The state also reporting more than 3,200 new cases of COVID just today. We know restaurants across the nation are eager and waiting for the latest stimulus relief. One Oklahoma business is now dealing with a 1-2 punch. They opened for the first time just weeks before the pandemic and then forced to shut down. KOCO's Aaron Buse spoke to the owner, who says simply this has been a long journey.
It was a gamble.
Hayden Weatherford is talking about opening a new business just weeks before the shutdown.
Yeah, brand new.
And to make it worse, because Bad Nona's was so new, they couldn't apply for their first round of PPP from the government.
We have not been able to get any government, as far as funding or anything like that.
They opened up in Midwest City at first, but quickly learned that wasn't cutting it.
We've truly not paid ourselves since we started in February because we haven't been able to.
So they opened up another location in Oklahoma City at the Parlor.
We just are trying to survive.
And now Payton and his employees are hoping the latest stimulus relief will help put some money back into their accounts.
Anything would help. Anything would help us at all.
Payton says his main goal is to keep all his employees on staff with full pay, and the stimulus relief will hopefully do just that. Aaron Buse, KOCO 5 News.
So many businesses are struggling right now. Aaron, thank you. We're counting down the hours until the new year. You see the countdown here on your screen. 1 day, 2 hours, 55 minutes, 43, 42, 41 seconds. But if you're planning a gathering, you need to know your risks. KOCO's Christine Stanwood talked to OU Chief's COVID officer about the safest and the riskiest celebration scenarios.
Ringing in the new year with friends and family is a favorite pastime for many.
This is typically a loud celebration. The louder people are talking, singing, yelling, increases the risk.
With drinks, hugging, and kissing, it's not pandemic friendly. And with COVID-19,
you just have to assume that anybody you encounter could be infected.
It's dangerous. Speaking with Dr. Dale Bratzler, I asked him what's the most at-risk New Year's Eve celebration.
It would be an indoor event, a party, people drinking, taking their mask off, because when you eat snacks and drink, you don't wear a mask.
The community spread is just way too high right now to have an indoor gathering.
This is just not the year to have indoor gatherings, and it's my understanding there's a good chance the weather's not going to be great Thursday evening, so a lot of people are going to be probably thinking about doing indoor events, but please don't bring crowds together indoors.
So what's a better alternative?
If you go out, outdoor activities are always going to be safer than indoor activities. You should do the best you can to avoid crowds. If possible, maintain physical distancing, always wear a mask, even when you're outdoors.
And the best option?
Clearly, the safest thing to do for New Year's this year is to stay home, and stay home with people that live in your household. If you're going to do other events with other family members, do them virtually.
Dr. Bratzler says when gatherings happen with people outside your home, you increase your risk of transmission. Christine Stanwood, KOCO 5 News.
The fight over more stimulus money appears to be far from over. This as many Americans are starting to receive round 2 of that government money. ABC's Faith Abube is in Washington to tell us when we could see a decision on the extra money, or will we?
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell pushing ahead with a proposal full of President Trump's latest demands. But the move likely to derail Trump's own calls for $2,000 per American stimulus checks.
The Senate's not going to be bullied into rushing out more borrowed money into the hands of Democrat rich friends who don't need the help.
McConnell filing new legislation binding the boosted direct payments to 2 unrelated matters Democrats were calling poison pills.
What we're seeing right now is Leader McConnell trying to kill the checks, the $2,000 checks.
McConnell's bill ensures a vote on the stimulus checks would also mean a decision on a committee to investigate election fraud and repealing protections for social media companies. All Trump demands. What's next? Unclear after the Senate Majority Leader shot down 2 efforts by Democrats to vote on direct payments alone.
It's amazing to see the patience that some people have with other people suffering.
As more stimulus money stalls in Congress, the much-needed second round of relief finally on the way to struggling Americans. The Treasury Department saying it started issuing direct deposits overnight, and starting Wednesday, paper checks are on the way.
I'm not working, and anything that is out here for us to actually get is well worth it.
Individuals who qualify should expect up to $600. The IRS adding if new legislation provides additional stimulus money, it would quickly top the payments. Senator Bernie Sanders threatening a vote on the $2,000 checks, or he'll hold up another priority vote to override Trump's veto on the annual defense bill.
We're in the most threatened situation we've ever been in.
The president is also dialing up the pressure on his own party to get a deal done on the stimulus check, tweeting, unless Republicans have a death wish, they must pass the $2,000 checks ASAP. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
Faith, thank you. Back here at home, a high-speed chase across the county. Why officers tried to pull the driver over in the first place, how they finally got him into custody. It's coming up.
Join us and support the KOCO 5 Cares Food for the Holidays drive.
From dangerous spring storms to icy winter blasts, flooding, hail, and high winds, the First Alert Weather Team tracked every storm live from the air in Sky 5. Whenever severe weather threatened, First Alert Storm Command was there.
From morning to night across Oklahoma.
Chief Meteorologist Damon Lane and the First Alert Weather Team with you from the first alert to the storm's end all year long. Only on KOCO 5 News.
15, 12, 587, 66.
This new video showing a high-speed chase that trailed from Edmond into Oklahoma City. Edmond police say they got a report of a drunk driver near UCO. Here's the video. Officers say they saw the car at Danforth and Coltrane, tried to pull it over. They reached speeds more than 100 miles an hour before the driver crashed at Coltrane and the I-35 service road, and as you saw there, got out and took off.
Stop! Stop! Do not move! Do not put your hands in your pocket! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
See the officer running. Here it is. running after the driver, actually running across the highway before catching up to and arresting him. Officers say the suspect did not have a valid driver's license and had active warrants out of Seminole County. A Metro teen charged in the death of Stavian Rodriguez after Rodriguez was shot and killed by police. We asked an attorney why to help us break this down.
And a significant winter storm taking aim in Oklahoma tomorrow night. I'll show you who could see more than a half a foot of snow and who might lose power.
A Metro teen charged in the death of Stavian Rodriguez after Rodriguez was shot and killed by police. Tonight, we're looking into why. Rodriguez was shot and killed by OKC police during an armed robbery last month. This week, we learned his alleged accomplice is facing murder charges. KOCO's Paris Jones spoke to an attorney today to break this down for us.
Well, I'm told in Oklahoma there are two types of murder in the first degree. The first one is malice murder, which is what you may typically think of. That's when someone intentionally takes a life. And the other is felony murder.
And what that statute says is that if a death occurs during the commission of certain types of felonies, that everybody involved is guilty of murder in the first degree, regardless of whether they intended to take a human life or not.
And this could be the case for 17-year-old Wyatt Cheatham, who, according to court documents, admitted to helping plan and carry out an armed robbery of a Southwest OKC convenience store with Stavian Rodriguez. Documents say Cheatham ran off before police got there, but Benjamin Munda, an attorney with Overman Legal Group, tells me because of Oklahoma's felony murder rule, Cheatham can still be charged with first-degree murder, even though OKC police officers shot and killed Stavian.
And the idea behind it is this. If you decide to participate in one of these, what our legislature has decided are extremely dangerous felonies, and a death results, whether you intended to do it or not, because you helped create this inherently dangerous situation, you're responsible for the fallout of it.
Munda tells me almost every state has some version of this rule, and in Oklahoma, law allows the district attorney to charge people for the deaths of their co-defendants.
One thing that you have to realize, too, though, is this isn't just an issue of felony murder. This also gets into the issue of principal liability.
Paris Jones, KOCO 5 News.
Okay, a lot to get to tonight. Let's jump right in. Buckle up. We're going to get through this, okay? We got another winter storm headed in about 24 hours from now. We're going to see rain switching over to freezing rain, some sleet, and some heavy snow at times. So let's look at the details. Right now we have a winter storm watch that continues. At some point, probably tomorrow morning, some of these areas of the watch will likely be upgraded to a winter storm warning. And then we'll see the travel advisory as well. That's the Purple County, the winter weather advisory. Some of that area could also be upgraded to a winter storm warning or may remain in advisory, depending on where the heaviest snow and the heaviest sleet is going to fall. The bottom line is there's going to be some slick roads, and we're going to take a look at that more in depth here in just a moment. First of all, let's look at the timing specifically here for Oklahoma City. By 5 p.m., I've had the chances at 40%. We may see rain move in just a little bit earlier than that, but then we start seeing the chances really go up as we go over the next several hours. So by 8 p.m. Thursday evening, New Year's Eve night, we are going to see those chances really crank up, and that's when we could also start seeing the roads, especially the bridges here around central Oklahoma, get slick. And overnight, notice the 100% chance, the red icons indicating the alert, so be very careful if you do have to drive during the overnight hours. 5 a.m., chance still 100%, 60% by 8 a.m. It does move out, I think, by around 11 a.m. to noon, but we'll still be dealing with what has already fallen by that point. Impacts. All right, now I have the roads and bridges at high, closings, medium impact, and yes, there could also be some power outages, mainly because, yeah, we're going to have some icing, we're going to have some wind, and I know we don't have the leaves on the trees like we did in October, but the fact that we have the wind could be a problem. Also, we could see a little bit more snow on Saturday morning. Let's look at it here on Predictor. There it comes, 3 to 6 p.m. That's when we see the precipitation increase. See a lot heavier there across southern Oklahoma. Yellow indicating mainly rain. However, I do think we'll see some freezing rain pockets potentially mix in even here in Oklahoma City by 9 to 10 p.m. So that's why we want to watch the bridges and overpasses especially. But notice by 2 a.m., man, this thing really cranks up here in the western half of the state. That's when the snow mixes in, could be heavy at times. There's 11 a.m. Notice a lot of the precipitation across northwestern or central Oklahoma. So that's the first wave. It moves out and then watch what happens behind it. As we go into Saturday morning, another wave of snow comes in. I think most of this is going to be in the northern half of the state, but that could lay down another 1 to 2 inches of snow, perhaps even a little more in a few areas across northern Oklahoma, so that could just add to the mess and keep some of the roads slick and hazardous going into Saturday as well. So snow outlook Thursday night to Friday morning. I have the heaviest snow pegged across northwestern Oklahoma still. That may shift a little bit further south down toward Clinton. We'll be keeping an eye on that closely. 3 to 6 inches for Canadian County and points to the west. 1 to 3 inches right now. Looks like here for Oklahoma City. Haven't changed that. There is some data that suggests that maybe some heavier snow could work into Oklahoma City. We'll keep a close eye on that. Right now, I'm not going for that yet, but we are looking for that ice. And again, some of that 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice. This is the area from just west of Oklahoma City back out toward El Reno. Enid, that's the area I'm going to be watching very closely for power outages. I expect widespread slick roads tomorrow night into Friday, and again, that may continue into Saturday as well. 36 degrees right now. Temperatures are going to get cold tonight, 20s with some teens in northwestern Oklahoma tomorrow. We stay dry for the first half of the day, but again, the second half of the day, that's when we see the temperatures fall and the precip move in, and that's where it could get messy. So 30s and 40s tomorrow, but it doesn't stay that way for long. Down to 30 for a low on Friday morning, 35 only for the high to ring in 2021. It looks like a mess. And again, we have that slight chance of some snow Saturday morning as well. And you're up to date with the latest First Alert forecast.
And Michael, parts of the state already saw snow this morning. You see this video here from our photojournalist in Pottawatomie County. It's really beautiful, but it can also be so treacherous. You can track the snow, the rain, the sleet, whatever else Mother Nature throws at us over the next few days. You can do that right now on your phone using the KOCO app. Tonight at 9, it's done. OKC's massive new MAPS 3 Convention Center finally finished after more than a decade of planning, building, and construction. KOCO's Dylan Richards got one of the first looks inside.
Yeah, we've seen the outside of this building so many times. This is our first look inside the massive multi-story, 500,000 square foot facility.
So this is the main entrance. Behind us, the concierge desk.
The building is a sprawling convention center tucked next to Scissortail Park.
The room that we're standing in here is the grand ballroom.
Got a huge 200,000 square foot exhibit hall, 45,000 square feet of meeting rooms.
Very flexible room with a fantastic view.
There's a large kitchen and this LED art exhibit called Virtual Sky that can change colors and even project shapes. The building's general manager, Al Rojas, says he's looking forward to the building's future.
The salesperson's dream. In most locations, people are wishing and dreaming and hoping for the things that are here right now.
The $288 million facility paid for through MAPS 3. For the staff here, it's a bittersweet opening. There's excitement, but as MAPS project manager David Todd says, at the same time, it'll be a while before they can see the full potential after COVID.
It's a little bittersweet. We're opening now, but I have no doubt that this place will be packed and you'll be saying, excuse me, as you're trying to walk down this very corridor, trying to get through here. So very anxious to see that, as everybody is, to get, back to life as usual, but I know it'll come.
In Oklahoma City, Dylan Richards, KOCO 5 News.
Coming up, how the Oklahoma City Thunder is working to save Oklahoma lives and how you can help too. Sad news tonight. A TV star best known for her role on Gilligan's Island dies of COVID-19 complications. Dawn Wells, who played Mary Ann, was 82 years old. Used to watch reruns all the time with my parents. She also appeared in Maverick and Bonanza, which are still popular. We show those right here on our secondary channel on MeTV. We are thinking of her family and friends and her fans tonight. Hundreds of blood donations made today at the state fairgrounds. The Thunder teamed up with OBI for the 13th year in a row, but they say this year was extra important because since the start of the pandemic, the number of donations has dropped through the floor.
Our supplies have been really low. We've been struggling to get donors in the door, and events like this, supported by the Thunder, are critical to making sure that our hospitals have the blood they need for patients who depend on it.
They say they also have that extra need for convalescent plasma from people who have recovered from COVID and are 14-day symptom-free. It can be used to treat current patients who have severe symptoms. It can really be life-saving. If you're interested in donating, we put information in the As Seen On section of our KOCO app. How about this new life-saving tool for the Norman Fire Department? Looks good. They got their new fire rescue boat this morning. They say it has several life-saving capabilities like a retractable in-water dive rescue platform and a 200-gallon fire pump that will allow them to put out boat fires while on the lake. Thanks for joining us here at 9 o'clock. Make sure you switch over in about 30 minutes for KOCO 5 News. At 10, we have the latest on this wild winter forecast. Mike will have it for you at 10.